The scene and I pay my dues. Rose from Phoenix, these flames they grew. Rows of people with an aim to do. Hold my dream and I stay so true.
I was thinking about albums we're anticipating to drop. For me, I definitely want to hear that new Gang Starr album.
Kuru's not.
No, I'm not even fucking joking.
Really?
Yeah, Premier has I don't know the context about it. But as far as I've heard, and there was a single that dropped with J. Cole.
I did see an ad for that.
Yeah, so there was a single that dropped with J. Cole recently, and that was supposedly his last feature of the runnings of features that he's been doing. But evidently, Premier has a bunch of
unreleased hot shit.
Yes. Where it turns the fucking fire alarms on.
Yeah, this sounds like a new intro. Welcome to the what?
Bullshit.
Welcome to the bullshit.
Welcome to the bullshit.
We're hot. The shit is on fire right now, as
because
you can tell.
Gang Starr is about to release a new album.
Hey, interesting Gang Starr story. I used to see them a lot back in the day when they first came out. Group Home, Nice and Smooth, J. Rue the Damager. Used to see all those guys, and they were pretty cool. And one of the guys that was in this, remember, we can't do this part. We can't do this.
No, just keep going.
No, this is gonna be the outtakes when we're all the way there. You'll come back and look at this, me headbutting the mic.
Fuck that. We're not professional, and it shows.
Oh, great. So, let's skip the Gang Starr then. How about that?
Nah, I want to hear this story.
You want to hear this story?
Yeah, I want to hear this story.
Okay, so I'm at the barbershop here. Shout out to Janae's Barbershop. This is back in the day. I'm at the barbershop, and there's this older gentleman at the barbershop. He's got to be 60-something. You know, usually we're all in our 20s at the barbershop, more than likely. This guy's about 60 years old, and nobody's talking to the guy. And I look at him again. And, you know, at the time, I'm a big digging in the crates guy. So I know all the albums, all the Blue Note albums, all that shit, right? And I'm looking at him, looking at this guy. And I'm like, yo, that's fucking Donald Byrd right there. Right? And I go to him and I say, hey, Mr. Donald Byrd? So, yeah, that's me. Surprised you recognize me. It's a shop full of kids. Nobody knows who this guy is, right? But Donald Byrd is a famous composer, trumpet player. He's had like numerous albums. You can find 50 albums on Donald Byrd, Blue Note, etc. But anyway, he's like, yeah, that's cool. I said, man, look, let me go out to the car. I got something for you. Because I had this tape and I had sampled him, you know, before I sampled him in a couple songs. And it was on this mixtape that I had on a cassette. This is back in the day, okay? Don't kill me. But anyway, so I give him the fucking cassette. And he's actually super proud that I know who he is. No one else knows who he is. Not the barber or anything. So anyway, I see him again, like 2 weeks later. What I didn't realize was Donald Byrd was an associate professor at Dell State at the time. Okay. Until his passing. God bless him. He passed a few years later. But he came to me at the barbershop the next time. He said, hey, young man, you know, we're kicking it. And he's like, yeah, man, I listened to your tape, man. It was cool, you know. I'm about to do this thing with some rap people, this Jazzmatazz. Right? I was like, oh, shit. Like, maybe I helped him. I don't know if I helped inspire. Yeah, but he hadn't did the Jazzmatazz album yet with Premier. So, but he was like, yeah, my publishing name is Mazel Publishing. So if you see Mazel Publishing on there, you're free to sample it. Oh. So like he gave me sample clearance.
Damn.
Back then, and like some of the first stuff that we were doing, I was sampling him because I had clearance. Yeah. Straight from the guy or whatever. So it was just like a big deal. And then like 2-3 months later, the Jazzmatazz thing came out. Didn't really see him too much after that. In passing, maybe once, you know. And then he passed. But, you know, it was just an interesting story. You know, like I called him right before the Jazzmatazz thing, and like it was dope that he like liked my mixtape. This is like this guy played with Miles Davis and Quincy Jones and you know John Coltrane and all these other people.
Yeah, like it's one thing when a fellow rapper or a fellow producer that's around your same age said something, but when somebody who's really been down with all those types of people, you know, and really lives and breathes that type of music and knows chords and stuff like that, like that's a different like type of like cosign, you know.
Yeah, that shit was incredible to me. I couldn't figure out who the guy was right at first. I'm just looking. I know this guy. Oh shit, fucking Donald Byrd. And to me, like, hey man, I had 10, 12 of his records in my crates at that time, you know, so I know his discography, however we fucking say that shit. So he was just so surprised that there was a young person that not only knew who the fuck he was, but could just name shit off that he had did, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just an interesting thing that happened. Now, and I wish I got to know him a lot better because a lot of other things could have came out of it, but some of those first demos, of course, I sampled Donald Byrd because anyone else I probably wouldn't have been able to get any kind of clearance from, you know.
That's crazy. It's just like it's funny how things just work out. Just like in passing, you found like you saw him at a barber shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you know, people are lucky to even have hair to go to the barber shop at that. You know, type of age, but yeah, just to see that, like
all the bald people right now are just fucking pissed.
Well, yeah, Onyx is pissed right now. Fucking DMX, he's gonna bark on me, you know. But whatever, you know.
But so for another album that's supposedly supposed to drop, which I hope drops because I'm a big Kanye fan. Jesus is King.
Yeezy.
So I mean, like I said, I'm a big Kanye fan, but I want to hear your take on it. With all the shit that he's been saying, you know, like I'm a very biased music lover. If I'm already a fan of that person and they say some stupid shit, then I'm still gonna listen. But like, say with X, I never got into him. I didn't get into him before all that stuff came out about him. So it was kind of like I stayed away from his music.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
so what's your opinion on that?
You know what? Music can redeem people. You know, I mean, he can think and feel anything he wants, but if he comes out with a hot new record, everybody's gonna forget about it. Yeah, it's gonna be forgiven. You know, I mean, God, he grew up poor in Chicago, and he comes to be a half a billionaire or something, you know. If he's not, then Kim K is. It's a whole different world. He gets into this world, he's probably honestly he's probably on something, you know?
To be honest, like I think it really opens up a conversation about mental health, and you know, in the hip-hop community, and the fact that you know, the guy is obviously not on his medication.
Yeah, and then, you know, maybe that's another form of trolling in a way too, because you know,
because that's how we promoted his last album. Basically, he just said a bunch of controversial shit and it was working.
Yeah, and
I mean, it worked in the fact of making headlines. I mean, the album didn't sell too well, but then again, it was a 7-track album, so I guess you can't say it was really like, you know, maybe if it was a 14-track album, it would have obviously sold more. But
yeah, and I think, you know what, he might be a little bit, I don't know, maybe he's out of it now, but he just seems to be
in a better place.
Secure. Yeah, because before he seemed like the most insecure superstar. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're big as hell. You're obviously the style leader of this past decade.
It definitely came off like, I think it's because Kanye always had to prove himself to other people. Like when he first started out, like he had to prove himself to being a good producer. Then he had to prove himself into being a rapper to these record labels. Then he had to prove himself with his shoe line and in his clothing. And every single time, he ended up coming on top. So it's like, I would have a big ego if I was him too, because it's like every time somebody tells you no, you're like in the back of your mind, you're like, I can do this shit.
Yeah. And
so
I mean, and he's already on some other shit. Like, have you seen him designing homes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
unfortunately, the designs for the homes got tore down because.
Yeah. But but if you think like somebody that could figure that shit out, it probably could be him. You know.
Yeah.
Now, I would like it to see it benefit homeless people some kind of way, or some of the poorer people. I don't know if he's trying to design $1 million house or a habitat for humanity, to speak of, but whatever he does design, when you get the end product, it's dope. Yeah. So hopefully this album's dope and he can, resurrect his red hat image.
And so I mean, I have high hopes for the album, mostly because the Sunday service stuff I've just been really liking. It just, with the choir sounds and all that, it just sounds beautiful. So hopefully that gets implemented. If not, I'm going to be disappointed. If it doesn't drop, I'm going to be disappointed. So all in all, I'll probably be disappointed.
Yeah, I just hope it's Kanye. I don't want it to be, the leftover shit that Drake wrote. Or the leftover shit that Chance wrote, because I'm not too high on this Chance shit. Yes,
I want to hear Kanye and Kanye alone.
So we gotta see if Kanye can be the truth on his own in 2019, and he could stop being afraid of Drake. I don't think Drake's trying to kill him or anything. He could, just concentrate on this music, give me some fucking fire ass beats.
Soul samples.
I need to hear some shit.
Soul samples.
Yeah, fucking sped up or something.
Chipmunked.
Yeah, chipmunked. I don't give a fuck. Get Jamie Foxx back on the line. Get Jamie Foxx on line 1. Somebody.
I don't need another late registration or another college dropout. I just need an album from him where you could tell it's him breaking boundaries again, and he's just making sonically dope music.
Yeah.
But another album I'm very looking forward to is Dababy. Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk.
Yeah. He's hot as fuck right now. Man.
He is.
You got to give it to the guy, shout out to him and Charlotte, North Carolina, and surrounding areas, because you know what? You just, it's not like in my day. You don't have to be from a particular place. You just need to be fucking hot and consistent. And maybe some money behind you. That might help too. But
money does help.
Money helps.
And I will say, when I just talking to people about different ways you could get your music out, and this happened to be on a particular subreddit called Making Hip Hop, and I was just talking to people about the fact that you see different rappers rise, even though, like, say maybe the talent level isn't up to par of the rappers that stay a little underground.
Yeah.
And he brought up the fact of that it factor.
Yeah.
And Dababy definitely has that it factor. He has that charisma. Yeah. He has just that thing about him that draws you to the music. And he makes dope visuals, funny visuals. He's comedic. He reminds me visually at least, and the comedic style in the music videos of old Busta Rhymes videos. Yeah, just very over the top, cartoony.
Yeah, and then you know what? And he's brave enough to do that thing, because everybody won't do that thing. Like, you can have a song and it's cool, but they won't go that extra mile that he will go.
He's not afraid to make an ass of himself.
Yeah, because he definitely looks stupid on some of that shit. The diaper thing and all that shit.
Because I'll what I think it is he's secure enough in his own gangster, basically. And everybody, like, you see these people not wanting to do certain things because they're not secure with their own gangster.
Yeah. But then they're not even fucking gangster.
They're not
doing that. They're just trying to prove something that.
They're trying to prove something to themselves and other people.
Yeah, back to the 6ix9ine thing, actually. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, way back in the day, Biz Markie did the same thing. He used to go on stage and he have a pamper on and shit. And it's just like, who the fuck is this guy? But they were asking, who the fuck is this guy? Now, when they got done laughing and saying, "Who the fuck is this?" And the hot shit came on, and it broke. They forgot about the diaper thing or the
same
antics
thing with the baby.
Yeah.
Like, who's bringing up the fact? Oh, is the guy in the diaper?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's bringing that up.
Yeah, I kind of did, but then he'd probably shoot me if he was here. But shout out to the baby. Actually,
Cam Coldheart, you fucking end up in your fucking underwear.
How do you end up with your pants down?
That's the magic of the baby.
Epstein.
End scene.
Yeah, he was trying to get some and beat some. He was trying to beat, but he didn't mean a beating. He meant beat. No, we're just. I don't mean his pants were fucking down, man. Like, how do you end up fighting a person and then like your pants
I have
are
so
fucking
many
down?
questions. I think his belt came down, but at the same time, like, he can't come back from that.
His pants were all the way like it
Pants
wasn't
were
like.
down, blood on your face. Your career's over.
I'm glad he had on.
I don't care if you're the dopest artist in the world. If that happens to you and you're in your underwear in the Gucci store. Was it a Gucci store?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a fucking.
Gucci,
it was
one of those things.
That's
Gucci.
where you get Gucci.
It was the Gucci store.
It was the Gucci
This
store.
is the Gucci store. That's another subject we'll get into.
Yes.
But Cam Coldheart was a kind of a cool name.
That is the dope.
That's a dope name. It ain't shit now though.
He's got a warm heart now.
When I walk into a room, bitches throwing pussy. Louis, Gucci, that's how you get coochie. When I walk into a room, bitches throwing pussy.
Louis,